This is how I test a BMS before I attach it to any cells. So it can be dangerous to take an untested BMS and stick it on a cell stack, because if you've messed something up in the BMS design, you may put your cells at risk, and then you put your lab at risk. Fire and disassembling, you're going to burn your lab down. So it's always good to test a design like this before you put it on whatever the power application is, like the cells. So there are several things that you have to simulate when you're testing a BMS, and the first two things are your cells and your thermistor. So this particular BMS is set up for a 12 series cell stack. So I need to be able to simulate all 12 of those cell voltages. So I have just a simple resistor divider network set up here. So this would be my main positive and this would be my main negative. And if I put 40 volts into the BMS, differentially across each one of these resistors, I will have the proper 3 to 3.2 volts that I need to simulate for the BMS to operate properly. Same thing with the thermistors. This BMS has the ability to read 3 different thermistors because of the way the cell stack is, so I need to simulate those 3 thermistors. We programmed it to use just a normal 103 AT, so 10K resistors coming off of this block going into this section. Now, let's look at the output section. Now on the output section, I have the main power out, both the positive and the negative. Again, on a test bed like this, you're not drawing high current. You just want to make sure that everything is operational. And then here's the output harness going to a communication header, and then a button for interfacing, and then a switch for interfacing as well. So here I can do everything on the output of the BMS and make sure everything is fully operational. So again, this is just something that I throw quickly together to initially test our BMS prototypes to make sure they won't do anything crazy before they go onto a cell stack, just to make sure everything is, all together and fully there. And if you followed me for any length of time, you know about our modular bed and nail system. And then once the BMS is, 80% vetted, most of the major bugs worked out, I'll go ahead and make a bed and nails for it so we can interface with the BMS a lot better. But always remember, never stick a board on anything that has just raw power like a cell stack before it's tested.